Thanks, Ann. We're back with John Danner from the Greene County Solid Waste Management District. I wanted to get back to those small towns you were talking about, the Worthingtons and the Jasonvilles of the world. Are there efforts that people in those towns could take to consolidate the operation and make it all run a little more efficiently so that you can run efficiently as you talked about earlier?
Oh, there are some very basic elementary things. If we're picking up from a gas station, for instance, if the boxes are torn down and flat, we can grab them, throw them in the truck and go. If they're not broken down, it's a time-consuming thing. But in these small towns, the people are very cooperative, it seems like. For instance, in Worthington, the Sunshine Shop, a little Christian secondhand store, allows us to use the back of their store to put our receptacles, and in turn we keep the place clean as we go. In Linton, we are working with the town of Linton, who are also very supportive in possibly at some point putting in a little recycling station there. In Jasonville, they've been nothing but helpful. For now, we have no major plans for the small towns except to keep doing what we're doing to spread the word and invite folks to come and see us. This trailer that we have only holds so much. So if, for instance, there are 5 bins in the trailer for plastic, newspaper, cardboard, etc.
Sure.
And it only takes a couple of great big truckfuls to fill them. So it's hard to keep an eye on a trailer that's a half an hour away all the time, but that's part of our goal, to keep things clean, keep them moving with a crew of 5.
You need that GPS tracking that they have on buses in Chicago and things like that.
Yes.
Well, all right. Well, John, thanks so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. My pleasure.
John Danner is with the Greene County Solid Waste Management District. And right now, back to you in the studio with your guests.
All right. Thanks so much, Stan. And we have a few things that we want to get to before the end of the show. And I'm going to start here with Carey. We're going to talk about carbon emissions. What are things that we need to keep in mind with this within the state of Indiana? And what are the challenges that this is posing to us?
Well, the most important thing I think for folks to take away is that, from an environmental perspective, is that recycling is one of the easiest ways to reduce your carbon footprint. About a year ago, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency came out with some research that bolstered the argument, the environmental benefits of recycling, by showing, for the first time really quantifying, that recycling and waste reduction and overall managing our materials more sustainably, including composting, can significantly reduce carbon emissions. And in fact, that segment of our economy accounts for 42% of the overall U.S. carbon emissions. So we've got a lot of work to do. What EPA also said with that research was that reducing that big chunk of U.S. carbon emissions via waste reduction, reuse, composting, and recycling is a relatively very inexpensive way to reduce carbon emissions in the United States. And what you're doing when you recycle and reduce and reuse and compost is preventing the need for new power generation in the first place. So of course that just intuitively know that's more cost effective and it makes more sense. It's common sense. It's efficient use of what we have and our resources.
That's right. Larry, I'd like to go to you because we want to talk about landfills a little bit before the end of the show, the truth about landfills, and really what are we facing here in the Hoosier State?
What we're facing is landfill spaces being used up rapidly to the tune of about 25% more than what was expected. What we really need to focus on in Indiana is reducing the amount of waste going to final disposal. That is the core mission of each and every solid waste management district within Indiana, reducing the amount of waste going to final disposal. We do that via what Carey just said, reduce, reuse, and recycle. By doing that, we can save what land space we have, what capacity we have remaining. What really concerns me is East Coast trash. East Coast trash being shipped to us via rail car, coming into landfills in Indiana and on further west. We don't know what's in that trash. Nobody's inspecting that trash. It concerns me.
Are we getting a lot of that?
I can't give you the hard numbers yet on that. That's something I'm looking into, and I'm hopefully that IDEM is looking into that also. Okay.
I kind of want to end on a note here with Paul, talking about really the basics, how simple recycling can actually be for everybody. Talk to me a little bit about that.
I think that recycling is so much more simple than what people, give it credit for being. I mean, it's something that we should not be talking about others doing, but it should be something that we're talking about everyone is doing because it's the right thing to do. It's our planet, you know, and everyone needs to be responsible as far as doing the right thing as far as recycling. The thing that we need most are those opportunities to be able to have a place for individuals to take their recycled materials to deposit them and drop them off. And I think hopefully with the help of everyone, you know, that will be made possible.
In terms of if people need help to know what to do, I mean, it's hard to imagine, but a lot of people out there might not know how to start. Where should they go?
There are a few resources. The first one in most communities is your solid waste management district. So here it's Larry and his crew. Your city or town. You can go to the indianarecycling.org website and we can connect you with resources in your community. Those are the key local ways to find out. There are also, of course, a plethora of information on the web about different waste streams and why it's important to recycle them, toxicity of certain waste streams, and the like.
Yes, Larry.
One of the new things that we're coming out with ERI, and I'm really excited about this, is an app for your iPhone. And that app's going to be able to let you click on it. It will tell you where the closest recycling center is and what you can recycle.
Excellent.
That is so cool.
Great.
And that's coming soon?
That's coming soon.
Well, this is really great information. I want to say thank you to all of you for being here. That's our show for tonight. Thanks so much for joining us on this edition of In Focus. Stan, thank you for your help tonight as well.
Thank you, and we should point out the newsroom always prints on both sides of the page whenever we do print in the newsroom.
We do try to recycle, definitely. And of course, thank you once again to our panel of experts. We really do appreciate you coming here tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Don't forget to post your questions for next month at infocus@indiana.edu, or if you would like to participate in a blog, leave a comment, or see portions of this show, please visit our website at indianapublicmedia.org/infocus. Well, with thousands of educators losing their jobs, the entire nation is seeing the effect of cost-cutting efforts in the public school systems. We'll discuss what this means for future educators in Monroe County on the next In Focus. Have a great night.
Production support for In Focus is provided by Smithville, a locally owned business serving central and southern Indiana since 1922 with residential and business internet, voice, and security services. Smithville, local pride, global technology. Information at smithville.net. Hoosier Energy, providing electricity for central and southern Indiana electric cooperatives and their member customers. Information at hepn.com, and by viewers like you. Thank you.